All right. So, there is an area here that seems very interesting. It has these two ghost children. However, before I talk to those two ghost children, I'm going to talk to this old man to see if he has anything interesting to say. Another day, another empty bucket. What are you doing here? Fishing, though so far I've only caught things that aren't fish. If it were knickknacks from shipwrecks, that'd be fine, because traveling merchants would buy those. I once pull up a boot with half a. Ugh, forget it. Talking about stuff like that will scare the fish off. What's the other thing you have to say? Is there anything of note nearby? Treasure hunting, huh? That great treasure they say lies east of the moon and west of the sun. Doesn't take much to know this isn't the place to find it. Though saying that, there have been a good few shipwrecks in these waters. There may well still be treasure beneath the waves, not that you'd find it easy to get at. I heard all talk at the tavern, too, from sailors who escaped their sinking ship. Said it happened on a moonless night, yet something was glowing among the towering waves. They swore it was one-eyed Krati, a monster that could swallow the moon. It was fighting a giant sea serpent for the right to rule its territory. For a long time after that, this whole stretch of ocean stayed as dark as ink. No ships dared pass through. They all feared the lost souls beneath the waves would drag them down. People claim those lost souls still wander nearby. But I say, it's all just stories meant to frighten kids. I don't buy that nonsense. Let's see. About this tree. It's cursed. There used to be a whirlpool here. The sailors called it the Eye of Krati. Then one day, this tree just started growing right out of it. And that was the only strange thing that happened around that time. Tracing it back, it all started with those rocks falling from the sky. Who knows? Maybe this tree is from the same place. Then there are those little shiny things that appear every now and then. Rare as you like, those are. I figured there might be new kinds of fish, too. That's why I came out here, to try my luck. I used to have a fishing buddy who came out here, too, but he said he kept hearing strange singing. It spooked him so bad, he never came back. Ha! Only half a Frost Moon scion, that one. But he inherited every one of their odd little habits. Well, hate to burst bubble, buddy, but there's fucking ghosts over here at the shipwreck. Maybe your friend wasn't so crazy after all. Maybe he had a reason to be spooked. Alright, let's see what you guys have to say. Proof of cognoscenti in a place like that. Thanks to Captain Gritier's guts. Captain of the Atlas. Darn it. Lovisa's fallen overboard. Hark. Where's Hark? The wind and waves are calm today and the ship is making steady progress. For the moment, everything is normal. We should reach port in 20 days. Everyone's in good spirits. We'll part from a new shore huggers found lot slacking off and gambling down in the cargo hold. Lavisa caught them red-handed. If Hark hadn't intervened, she'd have cracked their heads open like eggshells. Hopefully they'll learn a lesson from it. The shield of a shield maiden isn't just some mental piece. In the end, they were docked 3 evenings' rations in order to scrub the deck for 3 days straight. The morning fog was thick, with visibility down to less than 10 chains. It didn't begin clearing until midday. We encountered a ship from the north, made of metal and sitting low in the water. She looked like a biggin. Grittier decided to draw us near and say hello. After negotiations, both sides came to a satisfactory agreement. While we were there, something unexpected happened. Lovisa was visiting their captain when she smashed a hole in the deck and uncovered a hidden compartment. Inside was the legendary proof of the cognoscenti. Though I've got not the foggiest how a feather is supposed to lead us to some great treasure, we've almost arrived at those notorious waters. There's something not quite right about these waves, and the waves grow ever more turbulent. Everyone on deck needs to stay alert. We've given wine and bread to the sea, but Gretier's still worried, so he made an offering of more and even some iron coins, though where they came from is beyond me. Hopefully it's enough to guarantee safe passage. Probably led astray by the wind and waves, there appear to be no few ships that don't belong here following this treacherous route. We discovered a long plume ibis on the stern deck, dead. This isn't... And it gets cut off. Okay. Oh boy. I'm getting myself into some trouble here. Yep. Yep. I knew it. Traveler, do you feel okay? Paimon's getting a little dizzy over here. Huh. Paimon thinks she just heard someone talking. Mama's in the sheepfold. Don't be scared. Don't be worried. Take my tattered cloak. Dance. Don't stop. Okay, so I'm going to bring up my thing because I don't want to lose track of stuff here. I want to make sure I got these marked as I do them.
Let us have a modicum of patience for the richness and
I decided to
complexity
do
of
the quest
humanity.
before doing the exploration
The
for the
wanton
thing,
cruelty of the few is
because then
not
this way it's
worth
less things
our
I have to
ire.
worry about. Okay, so... Oh, you're all the way over there. You don't show up on the thing, so I'm not going to worry about you. Okay. Water-stained logs. I found an awesome new job. It's not like I've never worked as a private tutor before, but nod-krai's upper-class families, well, you know what they're like. But Miss Salmi is totally different. Every gesture of hers radiates the elegance of true nobility. Though her elder twin sister, Salame, is a bit more mischievous. But what child doesn't love pranks at her age? I do hope they'll grow closer. To see these young ladies blossom into perfect gentlewomen, why, it would be my greatest pride. When I was tucking the two darlings into bed, they begged me to sing Mama in the Sheepfold for them. It's not my favorite lullaby by a long shot, but what with its most quaint lyrics. But since the girls like it, I guess all's well. Thankfully, my fever had abated by this morning, otherwise I might have missed boarding the Fosgrin, and then what would I do? How could my two little sweeties go traveling alone without their tutor supervision? I'm still not sure how I caught that flu. I've always been meticulous about health and hygiene. Wouldn't do to infect the children, you understand. Salome's been in a foul mood all day, and she won't say why. When I was tucking her in at night, she covered her head with a blanket and turned her back to me with a humph. Is she mad at me? Or uneasy at being away from the comforts of home, I'll wager. Sweet little Salmi. Though, well, she's a different story. She apologized to me on behalf of her sister and told me not to take it to heart. As though I could. The only thing my heart has room for is love for these two children. Just as I was about to close the door, Salmi whispered, Miss Vedrana, can you promise me something? Naturally accepted. For these two children who had left their home and their father to travel by themselves, I would promise them anything. Please go back to your cabin now and promise me you won't set foot outside your room until the sun is up. I hardly closed the door. I was so overcome with emotion that I nearly wept. Salmi was worried about my health. As soon as I've finished writing in my diary, I'm going to do exactly as she says and sleep until sunrise. Good heavens, a terrifying thing happened today. A passenger was attacked after dinner, and no one knows if they're alive or dead. I took the children straight back to their rooms and put them to bed. Once they were asleep, I went to check the situation at the scene. The damaged cabin had already been hastily repaired, but there was still water on the floor. Something, who knows what, has smashed through the hull and snatched the passenger away. At around midnight, the captain held a meeting in the dining room to explain the situation. There was nothing we could do for the missing passenger, so for the sake of everyone's safety, the Fosgrin would leave these waters as soon as possible. I went back to check on the children. Their cabin sits toward the center of the ship, so as long as they didn't leave, they would be safe from whatever lurked outside. Perhaps due to worry, I hardly slept a wink. I got up to check on the children, only to discover they weren't in bed. My heart seemed to stop for a moment. I ran up to Dick to find the chief mate had him inform the captain. He gave me a very peculiar look, as though he thought I were insane. Not that I cared how he viewed me. All I could think of was the children's safety. After about 10 minutes, the captain arrived. His tone was reassuring as he told me he was organizing a search. He assured me the children must have gotten curious and decided to explore the ship. He said there were only so many places they could be. It wouldn't take long to locate them. He completely ignored whatever beast it was that had taken that passenger, and was probably still nearby. It appeared the children's safety was in my hands. I scoured every corner of the ship until I finally found Salome behind a cargo crate in the hold. Thank the stars. She seemed surprised to see me. I pushed forward and embraced her. Poor Salome was wearing nothing but a thin sleeping gown. Her hands were freezing. I took off my coat and wrapped it tightly around her. I rubbed her hands together and cupped her shivering cheeks, asking her if she knew where her younger sister was. She looked at me with an expression I can barely describe, but didn't say a word. After a long while, she raised her hand and pointed at the cargo crate behind me. It was locked from the outside. When I opened the crate, I swear my heart skipped a beat. There was Salmi. There Salmi was, curled up on the floor. She must have been weak from being stuck in the airtight crate for so long. I stretched out a shaking hand to hold her to help and held her to my face. She was still breathing. If we got here any later, I don't even want to think about what might have happened. After taking Salmi to the ship's doctor for treatment, I spent forever putting Salome back to bed. The sky was already beginning to brighten, but I didn't feel tired at all. My mind was racing, trying to think what had happened. Who had locked her in that crate? What had the children done to warrant this sort of treatment? The ship's doctor says Salome needed more time to recover, so returned to the children's cabin. Salome was awake, and I knew it might be too cruel for her to think back to what happened, but I had to get to the bottom of the night's events. But when I asked, what she told me shattered my heart. Even now I can scarcely believe it. As I write this, my hands are shaking. It was Salome. It was Salome who locked her sister in that dark prison of a cargo crate. This wasn't just some prank. This was something far worse. She had to be punished. No matter what else may have happened, nothing could ever justify something so horrifying. Salome cried as she begged me to forgive her. She said if she hadn't done what she did, Salome would have left her. She claimed that Salome was the child of a fae, that she wanted to return to the world of her people, that the monster that took the passenger was probably Salome's kin. Nonsense. Utter blather. There can be no doubt that Salome is a human child, no different than Salome. Though, are there not fae that can transform? Terrifying doubt took root in my heart. Before I tore it up and discarded it, Salome's impressionable mind must have been affected by reading unsuitable stories, just like that lullaby, Mama in the Sheepfold. Even now, I evacuate. Should I pen a letter to the children's father, informing him of Salome's wicked deed? I cannot say what doing so would mean for the girl. There is no time left to write today. I shall decide what to do tomorrow. Damn. Fuck. Touch. Oh, little fishies. Okay, so there was one right here, which I think was the one that popped up on the thing. And yes, it was.
Perhaps these treasures might be of utility to you on your journey. Please, I insist.
Yep, I knew it. This one. It would help if I opened it, though.
Goodness, how the world has changed.
Ah, that is still the same general area. Okay.
Might I ask, when did the custom of placing treasure chests in every nook and cranny come into fashion?
Uh-oh. I didn't get to see the name of that. Wow, there's a bunch of those shiny little things we saw earlier. Wait, where are we, anyway? Could it be we've circled around to right under that weird tree? And those green things those green things, what even are they? Whisper Beneath the Waves is the name of the quest. Oop. Okay. Do I take that or do I explore? I shall explore. Okay, so that one is this one. Okay.
Not to be sniffed at.
Another wispy thing to touch. More fishies. Where are these fishy things going? Are they just gonna float around, sort of? Yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay. I'm just gonna keep a looking.
Oh.
I'll go to the lower area later and do the upper layer first. Oh, looky, I found another one. Okay, so this one's this end. Mark. Oh, it would help if I grabbed the chest, though.
Perhaps these treasures might be of utility to you on your journey. Please, I insist.
Okay.
Ultimatum protocol. Wing down water bomb.
Observe. Be silent.
Installation chamber deployed.
I think I'm just gonna keep doing the cryo damage like I did
Off to the
before.
freezer. Goose on the loose.
That seems to be more effective at this point.
Cha. Yeah. Cha. cleanup sequence in the... A little amuse-bouche! Pinnacle of excellence! Yeah! Defensive mode engaged. Go claw! Look, your rainbow! Off to the freezer! Installation change. Adaptive frosting! A burst of flavor!
Okay.
Perhaps these treasures.
Let's see. This is the precious chest. Merc. Should only have one more chest left underground
Might
here,
be of
based on the
utility to you on your
interactive
journey.
map.
Please, I insist.
Oh, it's right here.
Estimating value of acquired items.
Okay. Oh, look, I found the goat. What is this? What is this? I don't know what I just did. Does that mean I could have done that with the red one? There's the red one. Nope, nothing. Okay. Oh. Water stain investigation notes. Victims. MZ Polknov, loan shark, died a violent death with multiple stab wounds. VT Jakub, head of the Black Spruce Trading Company, died in a freak accident, buried by an avalanche. Suspects Ike Dmitry, former rail worker, lost everything due to Prestige exploitations. Ovi Kozlov, second in command at the trading company, has had recent disagreements with Yakib. The two suspects with the most compelling motive both had airtight alibis, stemming the investigation. However, precisely because their alibis are so perfect, it raises suspicion that something else is going on. Two apparently unrelated cases, but with motives linked to the suspect in the other case. This can't be a coincidence. Dmitry and Kozlov come from vastly different backgrounds. Their lives and social circles have no overlap. There was no clear thread to connect them. However, upon investigating Dmitry's associates, I discovered that when he was working as a locomotive engineer, Kozlov also served as an ordinary crew member on the same line. Clearly, Kozlov was not proud of his job, and he concealed this part of the past when he joined the Black Spruce Trading Company. The two were reunited by chance during a train breakdown, and due to one's past grievances and the other's desire for power, agreed to work together. Dmitry used his inside knowledge to manufacture a natural avalanche, staging it as a tragic accident, while Kozlov used his own tried and tested methods to lure Plukhanov, to an abandoned warehouse to kill him. Fools always believe they can cheat fate. There's no such thing as the perfect crime. There are only imperfections that are yet to be uncovered. Steve Stolanov and Mr. Sesternin were scheduled to meet on the deck. They agreed upon time arrived, but Mr. Sesternin was nowhere to be seen. We asked his companion, Zurich, who was unusually calm and spoke with a coldness that felt out of place. He claimed to know nothing of Mr. Sesternin's whereabouts, but when told his cabin might be searched, an almost undetectable sense of panic seemed to flash across his face, before quickly donning a mask of concern. He took great pains to emphasize Mr. Cistern's obsession with machinery and attempt to convince us that his absence was coincidental. My intuition tells me he's lying. I hope this matter can be concluded before we reach Nashatown. Oh, he was investigating that too and didn't get to do it because he died, because he's probably this guy right here. Boop. Fishies. Don't know what the fishies do, but whatever. Captain won't help us out. Chief Stolov looks like this. Oh, there was stuff that dropped here that I missed. Actually, I can get rid of that marker now, because I don't need it. Fishies, fishies, fishies. That's got 2. That's got 2. That's got 2. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I miss... Wait, I think I missed something over here. Yes, I did. Boop. I missed one down below by the looks of it as well. Are each of you supposed to have 3? Oh. They are each supposed to have 3. Let's see where this one leads me to. Up there. Where is the last one? There it is. So many pretty fishies. Am I gonna miss? I think I missed the ledge. I did miss the ledge and I'm just falling down. Oh. Oh, damn. They all swam up, Travel, let's head back to the surface and see what's going on. Okay, so let's mark that one. Mark. Actually, I should just leave the rest for later. Because that's more of an exploration thing now at this point. Oh, the Cognizati or whatever. Now that's strange. Did you see that? The tree just lit up all of a sudden. And these little things. Too bad they're not fish. So that thing in the center must be its root, huh? Paimon doesn't understand how it works, but now that it's all shiny, it looks way better than when it was dull. You explained what happened earlier. It's pretty hard to believe, but you've got no reason to spin me a yarn. Looks like that fishing buddy of mine, that half-frost moon scion, was right after all. But so what? They're just remnants of the past. Whatever they sing or say, it's not gonna stop us living folks from catching living fish. Anyway, you folks are treasure hunters, aren't you? That thing you picked up earlier. This is the proof of cognoscenti. It looks like an ordinary feather. A trader I know once said that if you collect 5 proofs of cognoscenti, you'll uncover that great treasure east of the moon and west of the sun. Who knows if it's true? Still, a lot of treasure hunters seem to believe the stories. They're all rushing after it like crazy. Well, it's treasure, after all. If you ask Paimon, she's kind of curious too. If I were 20 years younger, even then, I'd still be out here fishing. That said, another day, another empty bucket. Haha! Whisper beneath the waves. I'll go by whatever the thing was when I looked at it. Oop, I got something further down too. Oh, I got all the waypoints. Nice. Alright, so that's going to be it for now, and I'll see you guys later.